Welcome to the Professionalist Real Estate Investing Podcast with your host, Tony Jacobs. This podcast is not just about making money. It's about creating a legacy that stands the test of time. From analyzing market trends to mastering negotiation skills, we will leave no stone unturned as we guide you through different stages of real estate investing. We will bring on industry leaders and share stories from the good, the bad, and the downright ugly. So now, it's time to level up your real estate game. And there's no better way to do it than right here with us at the Professionalist Real Estate Investing Podcast.
What's going on, world? Another episode of the Professionalist Real Estate Investing Podcast. I'm with my boy Marcus. How you doing today, Marcus?
What's happening, world? Just, maintaining right now, but I ain't trying to maintain too much longer. I'm trying to do more than maintain.
Exactly. So this episode is about what's going to happen. What predictions do we think is going to happen for the real estate market for 2024?
Okay, so as far as interest rates, they're talking about cutting them maybe a little bit, but then they're supposed to go back up in June by like before summer or right around summer. A lot of other things in housing supposed to be taking place too. I'm sure they're going to change rules and laws for investors. They're going to make it more, in my eyes, they're trying to make it more of some kind of way. They're going to try to make it more affordable for just regular people to buy homes, families, people, that are not investors. They're trying to make something happen so more people can get into homes.
Yeah. This is what I've heard so far for 2024 is the interest rate should be going down close to 4 times next year.
Okay.
And I don't know how consistent that is.
Right.
But I know things will change because 2024, we're hitting election year because things change when the election year comes up.
Yeah. That's for sure. Anytime there's an election year, it seems like maybe Congress and Senate wants to change stuff maybe for their favor or for the new president's favor or administration or whatever. There's going to be something new is going to pop up.
I remember listening something about that when they were talking about that when no matter what president it is, they always have the way they want to structure taxes.
Yep, no matter what.
They have their agenda how they want to structure taxes. So that's what as investors, real estate investors, that's what you look out for. What tax changes are going to affect the properties or the properties you want to get or own,
right,
or be in a syndication with.
Yeah, exactly. You want to make sure, you got to make the right choices, and you got to see how cheap the money is going to be too. You got to make the right choices on these properties, and you got to make sure that how cheap the money is going to be, because if the money is going to be expensive, man, you better work them numbers. Them numbers better be right.
Yeah. Just like what Jay said, men lie, women lie, numbers don't lie.
Exactly. Yep.
So you got to make sure you get that cash flow, make sure it's positive, not in the negative.
Yeah. As best as you can, because with rules changing and stuff like that, laws always changing. You got to stay up on it and figure out what strategies to use, how are you going to acquire properties? Like I said, where's the cheapest money?
Yes.
Where's the cheapest money at? Where can you find the cheapest money? And just, you have to, stay up on it in 24. You're going to have to make sure, you're reading and you looking at different information. That way you ain't left out in the dark.
Exactly. I was talking with my, the brokerage meeting I had today. I was talking to the gentleman who he runs the branch and everything. And I told him, I said, thank you so much. He says, why is that? I said, because everything that I listened to, he did mention. So it was consistent from what I was listening to, what I was listening to repeatedly a few times to by what he said in front of all of us. And that's why you got to stay up to date on everything. I mean, it seems like every day something is changing. You're not going to catch everything, but if you catch the majority, you're going to be doing better than most.
Yeah. So you just got to stay in tune, stay up on what's happening, what's going to go on, the future of it. With real estate investing, stuff always changes, new laws, new rules, regulations. So if you're going to start, your 2024 as a brand new novice investor, brand new beginner, make sure you up to date on what's going on out here. So that way you're not late to the party, try to be as up to date as you can,
Yes, even when it comes to real estate investing, even in the real estate investing field itself, I was telling you about this. They're saying like between real estate agents and loan officers, I don't know if it's this high, but they're talking about 80% of the people who are in those fields, they probably won't have a job because it's so bad right now.
Yeah.
It's so bad. I would say, maybe 50. Maybe 50.
Probably
but
50, yeah.
This right here, this time period right now that we're in here in December, and when we get into January, it's gonna weave out who are good real estate, who are really, really, really good in real estate, especially in the profession.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
It's gonna weave out because I know I've talked to a couple of people. One, he was a friend of mine was telling me there's a guy who's running a brokerage and he doesn't know what to do because there's no movement with him or his team at all. That's going on right now.
Didn't you say he just kind of opened it up too? He just started like,
yeah, he did a major remodel and everything and got everything going in. And like right now, there's never a right, not to say a right time. There's never a wrong time to invest.
Right.
But I've always thought of it this way. And we was talking about this too earlier when it was like, setting up our goals and everything with real estate investing. These months like November, December is the months where everybody just, remains calm, waiting for the new year. No, this is time to amp up, to tell you the truth. It's time to amp up for 2024. So you're ahead of the game.
Yeah.
People have, their goals of what the next year is going to be. No, how about you set those goals and then do what you need to do to make sure those goals are accomplished for next year.
Yeah. Yeah. So you're not sitting here at the end of 24 saying, well, I started something at the end of 23, but it really didn't go through. No, you have to like lay it out step by step. What are you going to start doing? So by the end of 24, you can be able to checklist stuff off a checklist saying, I got all this done. Like I said, I was,
Yes,
so
you're right.
You got to plan it out.
Yeah, you have to plan it out. You have to, you even though with this time right now, I mean, we're in the holiday season. Everybody, they want, eat that fat turkey. Christmas is around the way. New Year's comes around the way.
Family flying in and coming through, and sometimes that can stagnate what you want to get going. You know what I mean? Because you got different people coming in, want to visit you for the holidays, want to go out, want to do holiday stuff. And then you're sitting here like thinking like, I'm trying to get ready.
Yes.
I'm like working on trying to get ready for next year. I really ain't trying to do the Christmas thing, or I'm not really trying to, hang out with a bunch of family because this is my time to get ready for the 2024,
Because I think that's the best thing to do is designate your time. You designate your time because when somebody tells me they don't have time, I remember I heard someone say this before. They just like, when a person says they don't have time, I just walk away. That person has 24 hours just like me.
Yep.
They have 24 hours just like me. They can get up early in the morning. The best thing, let me tell you something. For successful people, the best time to be up is early in the morning. Why? Because the surrounding area of the world that you're in, they're not even awake yet.
No, they're not.
That's when you have a clear mind. You have no distractions and everything. When people wake up, then, life it starts to amp up, get up, take a shower, brush teeth, everything, all that and above.
Right.
But to get your thoughts together, like I always get up. I always get up around sometimes 4:30, 5 o'clock.
That's the winter schedule right there, 4 a.m. schedule. Sometimes some people get up earlier, but depending on what time you go to bed, I try to go to bed like 9:30, be up at like 4 or 5. That way I can get up what I feel a full day in.
Exactly. Yeah.
And then go down by like 9 if I can, earlier if I can, but go down about 9:30. So if I want to wake up at like 4 or 5, seize that whole day and then, make sure I plan my day, but then make sure I get that right rest too. Got to rest my body.
Oh yes. Oh yeah. Yeah. That's the goal, to go to sleep as early as possible, which I do. And then I get up at a good time frame, but I'm able to do things with the businesses and everything, with real estate investing, with my real estate. I'm able to do stuff in the morning when everybody's sleeping.
Exactly.
There's no noise being made.
Yeah.
That's like the perfect time. And that helps out. That frame of mind, that clarity, how to begin your day, it helps you out in the long run of your day.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah. Let me think of some other things with this next year. They talk about the interest rate being low. I think more people have to be more creative when it comes to what they want to do in real estate investing, because there's so many different options. Do what's best for them, what their goals are. So first off, set your goal.
Yep.
And set a goal that's achievable.
Right. Yep.
Just don't go out there and it's like, yo, check this out. I'm going to own like 5 skyscrapers.
Yeah.
No.
You don't have no plan. You don't know how to execute, like what's to do. Yeah. You got to make sure you execute that plan. You have a goal, but then have a plan attached to that goal on how to get to that goal.
Exactly. I know a lot of people do things with the phone, but I've always do it the old school way. My mom taught me. I write everything down. Yeah. I write everything down, and that's like right there. Like it's printed in my handwriting, and I know exactly what to do.
Right.
That helps me out too. That's my I also call my little blueprint right there. And that's what like goal setting for the year. Yeah. Anything that you're doing for your goals, hey, write that down. Like that. Speak it into existence.
Yeah.
Speak it into existence, and that's the way to do it.
I know a guy real quick that every December 20th, ain't that your birthday? Right?
Oh yeah, it is.
Hey, this is what he said. Every December 20th, he goes to a certain place. He's been doing it for years. He said he goes to a certain place, or he goes to the same place that he's always been to, and he gets a reservation. He makes sure it's set, and every December 20th, he goes and he's to that place and he sits there and he writes down all his future plans for the next following year, all his goals. And he says the reason why he does that on December 20th, because that gives him a 11-day head start on everybody else.
That's smart.
Yeah.
That's real smart.
Yeah. And he's been doing it for years. And that's how he runs his life like that. Like he'll have a successful year all year. But once December 20th comes, he'll sit down, reevaluate his goals, write up something new for the following year. And he said he does that every year because he wants an 11-day head start on everybody else.
I'm going to start doing that on my birthday.
Right.
Start doing that on my birthday.
For
right
real.
There. Yeah, that's so legit. Yeah, get that head start, get that mindset right. Because you get that mindset right, everything falls into place after that.
Attention realtors. First impressions are so important for real estate sales. Having a clean logo with easy-to-read information can impress a buyer and potentially get you that sale. Here at Boundary Waters, we excel at first impressions. If you need a logo or lawn signs, give us a call. Our experience at Signs and Banners have been proven for over a decade. Give us a call, 530-221-2151. Again, that's 530-221-2151. Boundary Waters Screen Printing, home of the Surf Ninja. www.boundarywatersinc.com.
And yes, and I guess he picked the perfect day because he said he's always been doing it on that day for years, but it totally makes sense because right around this time, everybody's doing the Christmas thing. Everybody's with family and everybody's hanging out with who they love and care about, which is great. But it's just like, you still have to make sure things are going to be ready for the new year. If you determine to make your next year your best year, then you have to get ready like now. You have to get ready early. to plan for it. So.
Yeah. What they say, you gotta stay ready so you don't have to get ready.
Exactly. Yeah. You have to, just stay ready, and keep working and keep learning. And you have to stay ahead of the game. You have to stay ahead of the game and make sure you take care of yourself. And, if you're going to be in this entrepreneur lifestyle or with anything, whether it's real estate, any kind of business, and you're trying to become an entrepreneur, you have to take care of yourself. You have to plan, and you have to take all the right steps.
Yes, you do. You do. You have to take all the right steps. It's the little things, people always, I've said this before, and it's so true. And because people they think about it and they're like, wow, that is true. And they're like, how are you doing today, Tony? I said, how am I doing? I woke up. Some people don't wake up.
Mm-hmm. That's so true.
I'm blessed. So I'm blessed to wake up. And then from that, what can better help my family out? I instead of investing your time is like the most hands down, like one of the most best things you can do, invest in your time. Because when you start investing your time, you're investing in your future, you're investing with your family, you're investing for the next generation.
Right.
The moves that you do, the moves, it sets everything clear. Like, take for instance, like my daughter, she's about to have a baby, about to have a grandson. I'm already thinking she wants to get into real estate investing.
That's
I
awesome.
have so much information for her, but I'm going to give her little nuggets. I'm not going to just shove everything to her. I'm like, here, how about you read about this?
Right.
I'll give you a few months.
Yeah, you don't want to overwhelm her with information.
And I said, if you want some more information, I'll do it every 2-3 months.
Right.
There'll be this, that. So you can just ponder on it. I said, there's so much. There's a buffet of everything that when it deals with real estate investing that you can do.
Yeah.
And so her mind is already inclined. And then with little man coming in January, she's already thinking completely different. She goes, Dad, how can I better my future? I don't want to go to a 4-year school. I want to, she goes, I want to do something better. How are you doing in real estate? And I tell her, I'm like, real estate market, it's crazy right now. It's really low inventory, everything. But what do? I said, I switched. I said, I went for broke. I started a YouTube and a podcast. I said, you got to think outside the box.
Right.
I believe it was Think Media that I listened to this past week. They said that it's a 42% rate of people that will deal with real estate agents who are on YouTube. Yeah. Than they would any other person. Because why? The credibility.
Right.
And that's a lot of things coming down. It's credibility now. So I'm teaching her the ways how to get in real estate. And if she has any questions, I'm going to, if I don't know it off the top of my head, I'm going to get the answer for her.
Yeah, for sure.
So at least she knows that how real estate investing is very, very powerful. She was like, Dad, they're always hiring for real estate agents. I'm like, being a real estate agent is actually, it's hard.
It is.
It's hard.
As an agent, broker.
Exactly.
Trying to do retail, trying to sell retail. It's super hard, but you just got to stay with it and just know where you want to go with it,
Exactly. And like even dealing with real estate, with the real estate niche of with the podcasting and the YouTube, like there's countless hours, I spend in my office that no one knows about, that I'm dealing with editing or what's going to be the best or how to word it, the algorithm. Like it's so much that people have no idea about that goes into all the work that's done. That's why my mindset is waking up in the morning before everybody else does. And eventually, because I'm rewarded because I woke up in the morning. I said, let me use it to the best of my ability. So if anybody has goals, it doesn't have to even deal with real estate investing. Write them down, speak it into existence. And like you were saying, Marcus, that like the gentleman, he did 11 days before the year. Why? Because he gave himself a head start. He's going to prepare himself as soon as it, that ball drops January 1st, 2024. He's ready to go. It's go season. It's go season. So it's, just amp it up. And I call these the low key months: November, December, January, February. They're like, there's not really much going on. Like, I watch my basketball, watch my NBA, watch my college basketball. Yeah. I watch all that, but I make time for, to invest in myself, especially in real estate, because without real estate, I mean, I don't see another pathway where a person can gain a substantial amount of money to help them out in life.
Yeah.
And then you can diversify that to many other different things, because
right.
I've said this before in another podcast, God's not making any more land. He's not making any more dirt.
Right.
So
exactly.
Someone needs a place to live. I mean, that's the number one biggest expense. That's first is where do you put it? Because that's the first question. It's not, you got a car. Person's asking, where do you live?
Right.
Because that's the number one thing.
Yeah. Because that's the number one expensive for everybody. A family that has a home may have a mortgage. You don't pay that mortgage first before you do anything.
Exactly.
Especially, and even when you rent, you're going to pay that rent first, really, before you do anything, because you don't want to be out on the street. You don't want to become in a situation where you're late and all that. So, yeah, most people put that rent or that mortgage, they have to do it first, because, you can't have your family out on the street. If you got kids and a wife and all that, man, you can't have your family out on the street. You have to pay that first. So, why not look into real estate to try to help build assets? That way you don't have to worry maybe about a mortgage or worry about rent. You know what I mean? You can possibly be in a situation where you can have somebody pay your mortgage for you,
diversify that portfolio, get that cash flow on.
Yes.
And then the better you get at real estate, the more people that you will incline that are actually, they'll be like, how are you going about doing this? And then you'll meet other people that they're in a whole better situation than you, that they can help you with so many different avenues and everything. Right. Like January, I can actually say this because in January, I did a YouTube. It's going to be posted on YouTube and on the podcast platforms. I did a gentleman down in Southern California. We had an amazing time. He was one of my first wins down in Southern California, and he showed me different ways that I never thought about when it came to real estate investing podcast, and also just real estate in itself. Yeah, he changed like a lot of thinking. He did what I did when it came to the pandemic, which is AKA the plandemic. So when the world stopped, we were starting to plan, and he did exactly what I did, and he was able to move mountains. He was able to move mountains, and he's still going full throttle. I can't wait to put that episode out.
Yeah, I can't wait to watch that one too. That's gonna be a good episode. You just have to like make sure you plan. You have to make sure like stuff is in place. You got to be ready. You got to be ready. Nothing's gonna happen just with everything in your head that you're thinking about. You have to put it on paper. Step it out. Okay, step 1, step 2, and just you gotta like follow the process. You gotta fall in love with the process too.
Yes,
because if it's bothering you and it's gonna bug you, you're gonna have a tough time. So you have to fall in love with the process.
It's a journey. It's a marathon. It's not gonna. You're not gonna see the word I'm using for you're not going to see the outcome right then and there.
Yeah, this is just not no overnight thing. You have to put in the work. You have to stay consistent every day on doing the work. And if you don't have a team, it's a lot harder because you got to do everything yourself. So, you start meeting people, start like if you can hiring people to help you. But yeah, it's a journey where nothing's going to happen overnight. Even closing on a property takes like 2 weeks sometimes or a week. Some people, they can get them closed fast, but if you trying to even just close on a property, that can take some time. Like a regular retail buyer, it'll take up to 30 days to close on a property. Yeah. So you got all that time to figure out like how to get a deal done, how to structure it, make sure there's contracts right. So, you got to be up on it, man.
Yeah. Yeah, it's good to go. Also, I was thinking on the top of my head on this one, it's good to go through trials and tribulations because trials and tribulations make you stronger.
Yeah.
Because it's like, I tell people, if I'm doing something wrong once, show me what I'm doing wrong just one time. That won't happen again.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
because I'll know, okay, it plays so much of an impact on me that I know, like, okay, I know not to do this again because it doesn't work that way.
Right.
And this is the reason why it doesn't work that way. So,
right. Yep. Exactly. And, even if real estate isn't your like passion or something that you think you could do long term, there's been plenty of people that get into real estate just so they can reap the benefits of it because they've heard, and then they go back to doing whatever else they like really doing, if it's acting or music or the job that they are still doing, and they just like working there. They keep on working there.
Exactly.
They just use real estate as just a little side hustle.
That tax shelter.
Or just use it for tax shelter and stuff. So, like I say, even if you're not passionate about it, just still get in, get some assets, at least get a couple of properties. That way you can have some cash flow coming in. You ain't got to be a full out a landlord where you got multiple properties, but just get a few properties that's going to maybe help your current situation or something.
That's
so
right. Get your feet wet.
Yeah. So it's just not all about, I have to totally be all in real estate. No, just learn a few things about it. And if you are the type of person that has a passion for it, just jump in and learn as much as you can so you can, try to make a living out of it,
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, you know what? 2024 is about to come up.
2024.
And I want to say, you got goals, write those goals down. Everybody has goals. Write those goals down, write it ahead of time.
Yes.
Get ready and be prepared for next year coming up, especially with real estate investing in any facet of life.
Mm-hmm.
And I just, go at it. And it's a whole year.
Yeah.
It's a whole year. You don't have to reach that goal the first day of the year comes.
No, not even the first month. You got a whole year to work on your goals, what your vision is. And anything's possible. You can make anything happen, man.
Exactly. And like you said, you got to stay hungry. Stay hungry.
Yep. Stay hungry for it and just keep going. Everybody's definition of success is different.
Yes.
So just know what you want and go for it.
Yeah. You don't be subtle and just be like the norm. Nah. Get out that box. Get out that rabbit hole.
Yeah, get all out of life that you can get. Reach your fullest potential and get all out of life that you can get, because you know what I mean? Once you're gone, you're gone.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
So you got to make it the best while you're here.
The best. And on that note, hey, world, just have a good one.
Yes.
And we got a lot of things coming up next year.
Mm-hmm.
All platforms. Actually, me and my guy, we're going to be doing some traveling and everything. So, yeah. So on that note,
more information to come.
Peace.
Later.